Welcome back to the Guard Your Savings podcast with the host, also owner and founder and insurance professional of Clear Income Strategies. That is Dolph Janis out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Get in touch with Dolph and the team at guardyoursavings.com and 704-919-0149. I'm your co-host, Doug Turnbull. And Dolph, how you doing today?
I couldn't be any better. If I was any better, I'd be you, Doug.
That's right. Flushed after a game of pickleball. Do you get worn out playing golf, or does that actually flush you after a game of golf, or does that keep you calm?
It keeps me calm. It's a relaxation point. Not as much moving in golf as there is in pickleball.
That's fair. Still a sport nonetheless there, Dolphin. You've gotten to gloat a little bit about your mighty Detroit Lions. I'd forgotten you were a fan of theirs, and we're later in the football season now, but they are winning games even when Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions. So you know that things are going right if your QB1 can throw 5 picks.
Dan Campbell's got that team rolling on all cylinders. They play as a team. They're a whole group of guys that play as one. They're not cared about statistics. Every week it's somebody else jumping up, doing their job, and that's what life's about. It was when you surround yourself with the right people and the right players and the right staff. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm like Scotty Skay. He's like, look, we've been getting our blanks kicked for the last 50-plus years. People have been beating us down, running the score up, and kicking our you-know-what. Can we give some of that back right now? And that's what we're doing. It's like, hey, we're taking out 50 years of frustration with our team right now. And it's just the city of Detroit. I was there a couple weeks ago, went to the game. It was so electric. Everybody wearing a Lions jersey. Everybody's just screaming and yelling, having fun, getting along. It's 75,000 people, and everybody's just cheering for each other. It was just absolutely amazing. That city of Detroit deserves it.
Motor City's got some mojo right now. The Tigers made the MLB playoffs very improbably. Skobal, your number one pitcher on the Tigers, just won the
ninth-round draft pick, by the way.
What's that?
He was a 9th-round draft pick. Did you know that?
That Skubal was? Wow, no way.
It just proves you don't have to be in the top 10 picks to be somebody. He was a 9th-round draft pick. Tom Brady, 6th, 7th round. He was all the GOAT. I mean, if you put your heart to it and you put your mind to it, you can become the best you want to be. It's like retirement. It's saying just because you started late or you didn't have as much, you still could pull everything out through it.
Yeah, for sure. And some people, speaking of retirement, have had long and storied careers and have had enough in the war chest, if you will, or enough reputation that they're able to call their own shots. And one of those, before we get into our topic today about having retirement income, is Denzel Washington. Listen to his plans about the future.
I want to do things I haven't done. I played Othello at 22. I'm about to play Othello at 70. After that, I'm playing Hannibal. After that, I've been talking with Steve McQueen about a film. After that, Ryan Coogler is writing a part for me in the next Black Panther. After that, I'm going to do the film Othello. After that, I'm going to do King Lear. After that, I'm going to retire.
and he was very clear he's going to retire from acting then. And he still has other aspirations, I think, with directing, producing, and whatnot. But that's pretty cool, Dolph, to see Denzel calling his own shot there. And I think you just recently watched a movie of his.
Yeah, Remember the Titans, one of my favorite movies out there. Just once again, coming together as a team like the Detroit Lions, not playing as individuals and winning it all.
So how can people come together as a team with their advisor to figure out about having retirement income? That's the biggest deal, because I think that retirement and income to a layman could be antithetical, right? They seem to be divergent paths, but actually if you plan correctly, there is a way to still be getting a paycheck, so to speak, even when your working years are done.
That's the whole thing. Is when it comes down to retirement, it's not how much money you have. It really isn't. I mean, obviously the more money you have could make things easier, but if your spending habits don't match up with what you have out there, the numbers aren't going to lie and you're going to run out of money. And you're going to become one of those 85+% people by statistics relying on Social Security to get through. How do you want to enjoy your retirement? That's one question you want to have. How much income do you need? That's one of the things I preach. I talk about it. Like I told you, I've said this on almost every podcast. 99% of my clients out there have a second advisor for the risk. I work with the protection. I work with the guarantees. I mean, hence our tagline is your income planner for life. Because if you can plan your income properly, then you can have a guaranteed lifetime income stream of X amount of dollars that you know is going to come in every single month. It helps you plan more accordingly for things you want to do down in the world. I mean, right now, there's only really 3 guaranteed words. That's the big G word, lifetime income sources. Right now, it's Social Security, pensions, and annuities. Those are the 3 things that can offer you a guaranteed lifetime income for your paycheck that you will receive for the rest of your life. People can talk about real estate. People can talk about but it's not going to guarantee you that you're going to have a paycheck for the rest of your life. I have a client that says 104 years old right now. Her account went to zero 6.5 years ago.
Oh,
and
wow.
she's still receiving $43,000 a year from the insurance company from her annuity. So how is real estate, if your real estate goes to zero, or your brokerage account goes to zero, or something out there that you have goes zero, where are they going to pay the rest? Are they going to still pay you? Probably not. If almost guarantees they're not going to pay you. One of the benefits of annuities is if you're looking to set an income stream. It's like clients will come to me and say, hey, Dolph, what is it going to take for me to get, let's just say, $10,000 a month in 3 years right now for the rest of my life? And I think, okay, let's look at your Social Security first. I say, boom, okay, you're going to get $2,500 of Social Security every year. Boom, okay, so you have $2,500 a month, Social Security. So now we have to create $7,500 more. Forget about cost of living adjustments right now. That's the second plan of the whole thing. Let's reach to 10,000. Say, okay, if you put in X amount of dollars, no matter what happens in the society, you're guaranteed to have $7,500 a month come in. Boom, you can now budget your life at $120,000 a year, guaranteed for the rest of your life. Now, if you wanted $20,000 a month, whatever it might be, $5,000 a month, I work with all shapes, ages, and forms, and that's the beauty about budgeting. Getting what you need, not what you want.
And what you need and not what you want. That's incredible, the story about the 104-year-old client that's been able to live off of the annuity income for 6+ years. So you mentioned Social Security and pension. Could you explain? And we did a whole episode on annuities about 2 or 3 episodes ago there. So be sure, folks, go back on Apple and Spotify or GardnerSavings.com and check that out. But hey, how does that pay you? What are you getting paid off of in an annuity? Can you remind us?
Well, I'm going to ask you a simple question, Doug. Do you pay into Social Security right now?
Yes.
And every time you work and you get a paycheck, they take some money out and goes into Social Security, correct?
Correct.
And at some point in your life, once you hit 62 or farther, what's Social Security going to do?
They're going to pay me.
They're going to pay you back the money that you were paying into them, correct?
Yes.
An annuity is very, very similar. It's basically almost the same thing, except there's different forms of annuities. You got fixed annuities, immediate annuities, indexed annuities, and stuff. Variable annuities we won't talk about. I wouldn't offer that to an Ohio State fan. But as an income annuity, you can use annuities for accumulation. You can use them for layering your money for protection and tax deferral, and you can use them for income. So let's just say, for instance, you put $300,000 into annuity. Right now, one of the companies we work with is offering a 30% enhancement for their income, so they increase it by $90,000. They're going to roll that up at 8% for their income value. So in 5 years from now, that thing's going to roll up at 40% plus the bonus. So your $300,000 is going to be worth roughly about $700,000.
Wow.
And depending on your age, they're going to pay you somewhere between 4.5% and 6.5% of that value, guaranteed every year for the rest of your life. That's how an income annuity works, the proper income annuity.
And if that annuity value continues to increase, it's 4% of the increased number, not of the original, right?
100% correct.
Wow. Well, that's not a bad deal there. So if somebody is hearing about this and wants to toe into that water, maybe they've been told something different. Maybe they've been told annuities are bad. How do you walk them through that if they go to GardnerSavings.com? What do you first do with them?
Well, we have a lot of products, brochures, white papers on there because I'm an educator first, I'm an advisor second. So I want to educate what you're going to get. Now, if someone comes to me and they're 50 years old and say, Dolph, I got $500,000 here. I want to protect and I'm going to retire at 65 and I want an income annuity. I say, no. That's not the right time to get an income annuity. You need to get an accumulation annuity that's tax deferred, that has no fees attached to it, that's going to grow with the indexes within the market and has 100% zero protections, meaning the worst you could do in any given year is a zero. And there's so many out there. So you're going to accumulate that money for 5 to 10 years. And then, because you can't say you're going to retire at 65 when you're 50. You say, I would like to. But theoretically, I mean, that's 15 years from now. You don't know there's a lot of things that can happen in the next 15 years. Now, 10 years down the road, now you're 57, 58. You're getting close to that 60 number, that magic 59.5 number. Now you're looking at yourself saying, okay, now theoretically, I can retire at 63, not 65. So now you have to come up with a plan. At that point, that's when you start clicking in the income number saying, anytime you're within that 6 to 8 year number of creating the number that you want to have for income for retirement, that's when an income annuity is correct for you. An income annuity is not correct for you if you're just saying, I want to have income down the road. I don't know when it's going to be. You got to have a plan in place. Let the money grow as much as possible before you're going to just jump all in the water and say, oh, shoot, the water's too cold. I got to jump back out because I'm not ready to retire because I don't have enough money. I owe too much money on my house. I mean, the kids are still in school. I got 4 kids on the payroll. I mean, you have all those intangibles in place. And that's where it's like, okay, if I got $1 million, well, that's wonderful. Great job. You've saved $1 million. You're 60 years old. You're ready to retire. Well, guess what, Doug? Now it's like you're like the chicken rooster in Jerry Seinfeld's apartment where he has to switch apartments because it's too red in there with Kramer because it's just too crazy out there because the light's keeping you up all night long because you're like, wait, I got $1 million, but I still owe $700,000 on my house.
Oh,
my kids are still in school. I have no guarantees out there. Oh, shoot. Maybe I can't retire because I have too many things. And plus I'm spending $20,000 a month on everything else. So that's $240,000.
ooh.
If I retire now, where's that $240,000 going to come from? And $1 million that's gone in 5 years. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board. Again, that is what I call a promised retirement. Someone promises you, well, that $1 million will last you, but for how long? And how will you maintain your lifestyle?
Better change something, yeah.
I mean, Doug, I don't know what kind of lifestyle you live. I know you like NASCAR and that stuff, and you like to turn left a few times. But, I mean, when you're going to a race, you got to budget how much money you're going to spend in a race. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to go to a race. I've only been like 2 in my whole lifetime, but you want to enjoy that aspect of it. And if you're living your life right now spending, let's just say, $12,000 a month on intangibles, and you go to retirement, now your budget and your income is only $6,000. Are you going to enjoy your retirement? Probably not, because you're now spending half the amount of money and getting to do half the amount of things you want to do, and you're going to be sitting at home on your TV watching The View and Oprah going, okay, come on, I want to be that one guest who gets that lucky drawing, who gets the free furniture and stuff.
That's 2 shots of The View of back-to-back episodes. I'll take it, okay? So, Dolph, when they come to you, within that 20-minute Ask Dolph Anything session that people can get complimentary when they go to guardyoursavings.com or clearincomeforlife.com, you're going to ask them questions like that to figure out about their lifestyle. And I would assume there's a worksheet or a spreadsheet, something they fill out that can really point them in the direction of what they would need based on different scenarios.
We call it the Where Do You Stand plan. And that's just the name that we came up with. Kristen, my old radio host, we just named it this like 8 years ago, and it just stuck. And it's just basically we type in the numbers, and we write in the numbers, or we plug in the numbers to where do you stand now to where you're going to stand later, and what obstacles do you have to overcome to get to where you want to go? Because retire because you can, not because you want to. I mean, everybody wants to retire. Well, not everybody, but most people want to retire at some point. But can you? Are you able? Are you ready, willing, and able to retire? It's like if you're going to buy a car, are you ready to buy the car? Are you willing to buy the car? Are you able to buy the car? Retirement's the same way. Are you ready to retire? Are you able to retire? And are you going to retire? I mean, it's not a one-size-fits-all shoe. And what we do is we educate first. I can't stress that enough with my team, and I like to educate. We have open enrollment's been going on here for a while. And Jeff Conyers that works in our office as an associate of our team, and he's been busy through papers up to the end, like tax season for tax accountants. It's not what Medicare you get; it's getting the right Medicare for you. Yeah, there's so many different types out there. I mean, like I said, there's so many different types of annuities out there. There's so many different types of retirement plans out there, but it's not a one size fits all, Doug. It's not a one size fits all. Every situation in this world is different. I mean, your situation is different than mine. Mine's different than Casey sitting next to you or around you, or different than everybody in your office. We all have different goals, aspirations, dreams, and what we're going to be doing going forward.
No, that's correct. And Casey's, by the way, is getting a McDonald's Diet Coke every day there, so she's got a budget for that for perpetuity. So
at least that's a lot cheaper than getting a Starbucks every day.
That's true. That is very true, especially in the rewards, right? So, Dolph, you've written the book. I mean, retirement is your wheelhouse, okay? Cross the bridge to retirement, keeping your financial future stress-free. A way to keep that stress level low is to plan a strategy with you or someone on your team that pays you the kind of income you need, and that that centenarian you told us about early in the show that had depleted their retirement accounts except for that annuity and made it and is making it still last all these years. That's a great story. So learn more about that again at guardyoursavings.com or by dialing Dolph and the team at 704-919-0149. And annuities are only among several or multiple different options that you have to introduce people to, Dolph. So we look forward to learning more, and I appreciate you spending time today.
Doug, it's always a pleasure. I can't wait till we talk, and take care. God bless, and happy holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the season indeed. Again, guardyoursavings.com. Clear income strategies. That's where you want to be with Dolph Janis and his team. Y'all, thank you so much for listening today. Thanks to our producer, Alfred Romero, for publishing, editing this. And we hope y'all are having a great holiday season. And until we meet again here, you've been listening to the Guard Your Savings podcast.
By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities offered through Randall Janis, North Carolina Insurance License number 8483456. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Dolph Janis is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Dolph Janis is licensed in your state, please call 704-919-0149.